Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night. Freshman offensive lineman Just Pagan has found his inner rebel, but Pagan's newfound independence has little to do with football. Despite the wishes of his parents, Pagan has decided to grow his hair out until he graduates. Ronan O'Shea has more.
All right, guys, how long between haircuts? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 2 months? What about 4 years? Indiana offensive lineman Just Pagan says he will not cut his hair for as long as he goes to Indiana University. And I want to know why.
I don't have to cut it, so I wouldn't want to. High school, we had to keep a nice short little crew cut, Catholic high school, so now I just let it go free. So my mom wanted me to cut my hair, so I was kind of here, and I didn't have to listen to her anymore, so it was kind of a rebellion thing. So mom says cut it, well, I don't have to anymore, so I'm going to leave it.
So really, Justin, when was the last time you saw a barber?
June, my freshman summer, and then I trim it every 6 months, cut an inch off, so it promotes the growth. Get the dead ends off.
At 6'5", 311 pounds, Pagan is hard to miss. But it's the hair, the long flowing hair, that everyone notices first.
I've seen afros before, but nothing like his. His is wild, man, crazy, caveman type.
Hair like Pagan's? No, I haven't. Well, maybe back in the day. My dad had a pretty big fro back when he was younger. I've seen pictures, and my mom had a big one too. That's about the only time I can think of.
I mean, I love it. It's crazy. I mean, he's a big guy, so I know people on campus look at him like, oh my goodness, look at this guy, but I love his hair.
But just because they like it doesn't mean they wouldn't change it.
They want me to cut it. Some of them want me to, some of them don't. Some of them wish I did something else with it and just left it out poofy.
I wish it could actually lay down so it can fly out the back of his helmet like Palomalu, but I mean, he said it's just going to keep growing. He's not going to cut it.
It's pretty nice, though. I think he should braid it. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, just little singles like the old Coolio look. So, yeah.
So, Coach Lynch, why don't you grow out the Coolio hair?
I don't know. If he keeps working as hard as he does and playing the way he does, we'll let him wear his hair the way he wants. But he's a unique guy, but a lot of fun to have on the team.
Now, Pagan is slated to graduate following the 2011 football season, and something tells me his graduation gift from Mom is going to be a haircut. In Bloomington, I'm Ronan O'Shea, Hoosier Sports Night.
Indiana women's volleyball held off Missouri State in an incredible match that made the Hoosiers 4-0 and champions of the Hampton Inn Invitational. Despite an injury, Ashley Benson returned to help lead the Hoosiers to victory. Caitlin Cox was the leader on defense and won Defensive Player of the Week award in the Big Ten. The Hoosiers are off to an incredible start, which has Coach Sherry Dunbar looking forward to the rest of the season.
The number 18 ranked Indiana field hockey team put on a beating to Davidson, winning 6-1. Redshirt freshman Morgan Fleetwood led the Hoosiers with 2 goals and 2 assists. Indiana faced up a tougher matchup against number 3 Wake Forest. Sophomore Corey Brodegam and junior Lena Garotti scored 1 goal each to lead the Hoosier attack. The Demon Deacons outshot the Hoosiers 16-3 in the match.
Indiana men's soccer collected their first win against New Mexico 3-2. Goals were scored by Lee Hagedorn, Will Bruin, and Alex Purdy. The game was slow in the first half with just 5 combined shots. That all changed in the second half when Indiana and New Mexico combined for 20 shots overall. Despite an early 1-0 lead by New Mexico, the Hoosiers were able to battle back and pull off the win. The number 12 Hoosiers continue their winning ways by taking the Mike Barticelli crown with a 2-0 victory over Seattle. Will Bruin and Andy Adlard scored both goals in the game. Indiana is now 2-1-1 on the season.
Redshirt freshman Zach Mayhew led the Indiana cross-country team with the first-place finish at the Indiana Open. Junior Andy Weatherford finished right behind him with the second-place finish. Chelsea Blanchard had a second-place finish for the women's team, not far behind assistant coach Rebecca Walter. IU men's golf finished third at the Wolf Run International. Senior Alex Martin was impressive with his third straight 74, putting him in a tie for 27th overall. Freshman Pamela Burnetsky was the star of the women's golf team and finished with 16th overall for her collegiate tournament.
The women's soccer team completed a thrilling come-from-behind win against Hofstra over the weekend. After being down 2-0, IU stormed back to win the game. However, Indiana faced a harder challenge in St. John's, who ended the Hoosiers' perfect start to the season after a 2-1 loss. Coming up after the break, we will welcome in former Indiana wide receiver Brandon Walker-Roby, and he will talk some Indiana football with us. Stay tuned.